Hello and welcome to episode number 12 of Beyond the Plate. It's everything you ever visualized as far as food is concerned, including eat as much as you can host and the glamorous as hell host. I'm Hrishi K, with me Chef Amrita Raichand. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Rishi. Doing really good.
You know, there's an age-old adage, how much guts or how gutsy are you? But in the world of food parlance, guts means something totally different, isn't it? I mean, gut health has now become a trend. People are talking about it. And it's obvious that we had to talk about food trends. And if gut health is a trend, then so be it. Now, it has also been proven medically that gut health is actually the foundation of each and every aspect of our overall health and well-being. And this again is from a Harvard study, and I'd like you to quote from it.
Like you very rightly said, it is everything. It is that entire base, that foundation on which human health, rests on. And the Harvard Medical School has gone a step further and elaborated how the gut-brain connection is actually no joke. You know, we've often heard of phrases like that gut-wrenching feeling, my gut says this has to work out, there are butterflies in my stomach, feeling nauseous without really actually being sick. Now, these are used actually for a reason. Believe it or not, the gastrointestinal tract is sensitive to emotion. Anger, anxiety, stress, elation, all of these feelings and many others can trigger symptoms in the gut, causing problems just like acidity, IBS, etc. And a poor gut, Rishi, can actually affect the way your brain reacts. Like it can cause anxiety, it can cause stress, it can cause even depression. So that's how important our gut is to us.
Okay, in the midst of all the wonderful things that you say, I always try and ask the right questions. And the right question at this point in time is, what is our gut made up of? I mean, one thing is to understand how to keep our gut environment healthy, but unless we understand what our gut is made up of, how do we go about solving the issue?
That's a very
talk about that.
Very good question, Rishi, and I'm glad you asked this question. Our gut is actually made up of 1,000 species of bacteria. Okay, and each of them plays a different role in the body. Most of them are extremely important for our health, and the bad ones are actually the ones that cause diseases. Now, altogether, these microbes may weigh almost as much as 1 to 2 kg, which is roughly the weight of your brain. So together, they function as an extra organ in your body and play a huge role in our health. Now, everyone, we know what the constitution of gut is, but we also need to know what is unique to each of us. What is unique is what we are born with. There is something that we are, obviously given by our mother during pregnancy, when, during childbirth. But there is the other formation of the gut happens because of what all we put into our system as we keep growing older. Okay, of course, there's a very dear friend of mine who's unfortunately right now ill and fighting cancer. But believe it or not, Rishi, you would have never met a healthier guy, more disciplined guy than him. And he told me once that, Amrita, all we can do is put our best foot forward and then let destiny play its role. So the reason why I brought this up is that we have to do everything to ensure that our gut is healthy, our body is healthy, we are healthy human beings. And of course, if something still goes wrong, that's something we got to deal with. But if you have a strong system, you'll be able to fight it better.
So now that you know what the constitution of your gut is, what can we do, Amrita, towards developing and maintaining good gut health? A few practices that I'd like you to elaborate on.
So first and foremost, obviously, is a good diet. Now, when I say diet, it doesn't mean, diet that is given to you by a dietitian. You have to use your common sense, a diverse diet. Like I just told you how many organisms our gut is made up of. So that variety of organisms needs a variety of food. We need to have lots of colorful fruits and vegetables of different kind, different constitution, because that really helps the gut to be really healthy. Also, what is really important when you're choosing food is foods that have a lot of fiber. What fiber does is give these microbes, the good bacteria, a good environment to grow in. There's also the bad bacteria, which thrives on sugar, on very, simple carbohydrates. That needs to be reduced so that your good bacteria is higher in number and they can fight all the bad diseases.
And I imagine exercise, reduction of stress,
Of course.
sleeping enough, which is an urban malaise, the curse of all of us in urban India. We just don't sleep enough.
No, we
You know
don't.
what the deal is. Yeah.
So apart from food, Rishi, really, really important, all of these factors that you just mentioned, and they all have to be in a disciplined way. It can't be one day you've slept a lot, oh, I've, made up for my lack of sleep in the entire week. It doesn't happen like that. You need to have a disciplined lifestyle, try and put a routine to your life. And, there's one more thing that I would like to add where diet is concerned. Apart from all the fiber-rich foods, low sugar food, what you really need to try and include in your diet is prebiotics and probiotics. These are very, very important. These have again become, the very talked about, nutrients, but they're really, really important. Probiotics are all your, yogurt, kefir, your, fermented foods, and prebiotics is all the fiber-rich food that again helps all the good bacteria to grow. So, whole foods like oats, but again, not the quick oats. Yeah, the ones with all the fiber like steel-cut oats. Barley, all of these really, really are important. A good combination of prebiotics and probiotics is really important to, to really develop the good bacteria in the gut.
We have a WhatsApp number. It's 9833943943. 9833943943. Use that WhatsApp number. If you think of any question on diet or nutrition on the theme that we have today, which is gut health, please ask Amrita. She answers every single question. Put your name in there along with the question. And that's the Ask Amrita section that's coming up at the end of the show. But before that is the recipe of the week, and is a precursor for or to the recipe of the week, Amrita. Foods which are good for the gut. I'd like you to actually tell me food-wise. So maybe fruits, and then go into, allium categories. And maybe before we go into the recipe of the week, things to do and not to do.
So I did start with, talking about prebiotics and probiotics. Like always, you like to get a diversification of all the foods. When I say fruits, I mean low fructose fruits, such as berries, banana, avocados, apple, pomegranate. These are really, really good for the gut. Vegetables, again, rich in fiber, broccoli, green leafy vegetables, cauliflower, very good. Whole grains, like I mentioned, barley, groats, steel-cut oats. Also very, very high in fiber are beans. Nuts, mind you, not salted. Okay, those are actually not good for us. But pure nuts, almonds, pistachios are very, very good for us. Pumpkin seeds and all the other varieties of seeds, again, very good for us. You mentioned allium categories: garlic, onions, leek, chives, scallions, all of these are excellent for the gut. Coming back to probiotics, yogurt, cheese, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, very, very, very good. Other things that are very good for our gut are, again, mushrooms, pickles, but again, not the store-bought, not the really oily type, the ones that you can make at home. Pickled veggies are excellent for us. Lean protein, kanji. I mean, there are lots of things that you can have. Just if you eat them mindfully, they will really, really be good for you. The other question you asked me is what not to do. What will actually be bad for the gut. So again, when things start trending, when topics start trending, we all start running in one direction without really reading up much on it, without really researching much on it. Very often we go into, yo-yo diets. Extreme diets. Oh, I'm not going to have carbs. Oh, I'm not going to have. I mean, I have to admit, I've done all of these as well. But as you grow older, as you live your life, as you realize things that happen, you kind of learn. And one thing I have learned is fad diets are really, really bad for us. So never do that.
Okay, time for the recipe of the week. Now, if you prefer your content in video form, Amrita is ready with her apron on in a home studio kitchen, filming the recipe of the week. But if you're listening to good old-fashioned radio, here she is. She's going to take it slowly, one step at a time, give you all the ingredients. And today, what are we making, Amrita?
So we are making a very fun, very easy berry smoothie, okay? Because yogurt, we've spoken about it so many times, we had to include yogurt. Now, you can go and buy Greek yogurt, which makes it even more rich and creamy. But what I like to do it is an easy trick at home. You just take your homemade dahi and you hang it in a muslin cloth and take out all the excess moisture. And what you have left is hung curd. And then you use that to make your smoothie for that little extra creaminess. You add some berries to it. You can throw in some seeds. You can throw in a banana. And if you want a little more sweetness, though, once you add a banana, you won't really need. But for those with a little extra sweet tooth, they can drizzle in some organic and raw honey on it. Make a smoothie of it, and that's your fabulous, fabulous drink, which is so good for your gut.
Lovely. Now we come to the Ask Amrita section, which is actually a throwback to last week. Now, I don't know if you're regular listeners of ours. The last couple of weeks we've been talking about pregnancy. Of course, this is pre the Independence Week episode. We talked about pregnancy myths. We busted them. And then we did pregnancy cravings leading up to the Independence Week episode. And the response that you guys have given us to both those pregnancy episodes have been phenomenal. We've had husbands writing in. We've had pregnant mothers writing in. We've had curious ladies who obviously are thinking of going the family way writing in. So I'm going to pick one by Rani. And this is a question saying, Amrita, you're absolutely right. You said often when we are pregnant, we think or want to devour only a particular type of food. But I'm a little upset by the volume of food that I'm consuming. What are ways of tackling cravings? How can I get my mind off this continuous craving for food that I'm having through my pregnancy? And this is by Rani.
Rani, hi. First of all, congratulations. And secondly, you know, like I mentioned in the last episode, there is a solution for every kind of craving. If you're craving something which is not really healthy for you, I've given you a healthier version of it. But no matter how healthy it is, extra craving, extra indulgence is never good. So what I would like to recommend is plan your meals. If you plan your meals well, you know you're going to get something at some part of the day which will take away that anxiety of, oh my God, you know, I think I'm too hungry. Oh my God, now my baby needs some extra food. That will get avoided if you plan your meals. Again, second thing is always start your breakfast with a good high protein meal, because trust me, protein and that additional fiber that you will add to it will keep you full for longer. So it's really, really important to start your day well, because that really sees you through the day. Next, try and stock up on healthy snacks, which are the kinds that I have suggested. Stock them up so that when you're craving, you don't really reach out, for the wrong item. Especially when you go out, say shopping or for some other chore. Carry that snack with you. Otherwise, you'll be tempted to buy that, highly palatable, not so healthy packet from a store, and that might not be so good for you. Keep having lots of water. Very often when we feel hungry, we're actually really thirsty. You'll realize that when you have a few sips of water, it's taken away that hunger pang for the moment. And one thing which I highly recommend for pregnant ladies is meditation. Believe me, it is such a beautiful trick. I did that throughout my pregnancy and I continue to do it. Just calming yourself down, meditating, breathing. It just calms your senses. And, cravings are actually a result of some kind of stress, some kind of hidden, emotion that you're not addressing. And when you start meditating, things fall into perspective and you just become calmer and more able to combat those emotions through the day. So try that.
Lovely. Amrita is on YouTube. It's Chef and Beyond, the Chef Amrita Raichand YouTube channel. On Instagram, you get a recipe of the week and a whole lot of other stuff. It's at Amrita Raichand. We are on Radio 1 International, and how Beyond the Plate functions is very simple. The audio episode gets on 94.3 Radio 1, 8:15 a.m. on Mondays, and we go right up till 9 o'clock. Couple of days later, Wednesday, is when we release the video of us in studio chatting, so you get lots of visuals, and that releases on the Radio 1 International channel. Till next week then, Stay healthy, eat a lot, but eat the right stuff.
And keep your gut clean.
It's Beyond the Plate with me, Hrishi K, and Chef Amrita Raichand saying bye-bye. Bye, Amrita.
Bye. Bye, Rishi. Bye, everyone.
94.3 Radio 1.